you very much for that introduction. Gentlemen, as Mark said, 15 years I spent at Liverpool, and it was 15 great years, to be fair. Well, there was 12 great years, and then fucking Graham Souness come back. But I must be honest with you, Liverpool was the last team in England that I ever thought I would play for or I ever wanted to play for. Because as a kid growing up in Dublin in the 60s, like most kids growing up in Dublin in the 60s, the only team I ever really wanted to play for was Manchester United. I was a big Man United fan. I'll tell you why. My dad took me to a game when I was 6 years of age in Dublin. And it was a League of Ireland select team versus Manchester United. It was the great Manchester United team in the 60s, the team that had just won the European Cup against Benfica at Wembley. Now, my dad was also an Irish international. He got 2 caps for the Republic of Ireland, and he knew the 2 full-backs playing for Man United that night, 2 Irish lads, Shea Brennan and Tony Dunn. And they brought me into the dressing room before the game, and I was introduced to, amongst others, George Best, Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton. And it was from that day I became a big Man U fan. It was from that day it was my ambition to play for Manchester United. Now, can you imagine how excited I was? 14 years of age, Man United scout turns up at my door in Dublin, invites me over to Old Trafford for trials. I spent 2 weeks training at Manchester United, and I must have impressed somebody because Man United offered me an apprenticeship when I was 15. Now, I felt I was a little bit too young to leave home at the time, so I stayed on to finish school in Ireland. I still trained with Man United every school holiday, and I still held on to that ambition that one day I would play, maybe even one day I would score for Manchester United. It took me 22 years from the day I met my heroes, Best, Law and Charlton, but in 1989 I finally realised one of my childhood ambitions, and I scored for Manchester United. At Old Trafford, in the Stretford end. Now, the only downside to that was I was playing for Liverpool that afternoon, but I am still proud of that goal. I'm so proud of that goal because I do hold the distinction of scoring the greatest own goal ever seen at Old Trafford. There was a long ball played over United's defence, was headed away by the Liverpool centre-back Glenn Hussein. I latched onto it quickly, about 25 yards from goal, and I played a delightful right foot half volley which sailed over the goalkeeper's head into the top of the net. Magnificent goal, really, believe me. Now, I've seen the goal since many times on DVDs and videos, and I still can't blame myself 100% for that goal. On the day, with a 6'3" goalkeeper standing on his line when the ball dipped in over his head, but luckily it didn't matter. John Barnes got a couple that day. We won the game at Old Trafford 2-1, so all the Liverpoolians were happy. I was delighted. I'd finally done it. I'd scored for Manchester United. And Bruce Grobbelaar was ecstatic. He had 10 grand on the tune.